What's up YouTube, Dell here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you a profile for Psychics. So Psychics actually got a lot of cool support in Dauntless Advance, and at the day of recording this video, they also had brand new support announced for the next core booster set as well. So it is looking very bright for the Psychic strategy. Now, as a disclaimer, here in the EU, we don't have access to the brand new Battles of Legend, meaning we don't have access to the brand new P.U.N.K cards, so they won't feature in this particular deck. That being said, I still feel that the P.U.N.K engine is one of the best engines to help the Psychic strategy, because not only does it help chip away at your own life points to make your Psychic and Punisher a stronger boss monster, but it does open up the door to more level 8 synchros and of course more level 11 synchros, which is kind of what the strategy of the Psychics want to gain access to. So, with all that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to miss out on any more upcoming content. I'm going to take you through the profile, talk about some changes or adaptations you might want to make considering what you might have access to, but also take you through all of the brand new cards and exactly what they do. So starting off with 3 of a brand new card in the Mind Procedure. Now this card's actually really kind of cool for the strategy because it acts as a starter and an extender. So if this card you control would be used as synchro material for a Psychic monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner. You can only use one of the following effects per turn and only once that turn. If it is normal summoned or specialed by a monster effect, you get to pay 2,000 life points to add a teleport normal spell or quick play spell from the deck or grave to the hand. Now the benefit of something like that, and the why it's very important it has to come from a monster effect, is because of course you can use emergency teleport and get direct access to it. If this card is banished, you can pay 1,000 life points to special summon it, and for those of you unfamiliar with the Psychic strategy, they actually like banishing a lot of their cards, so another kind of engine you could utilise to support this bit more if you wanted to is of course the Virtual Worlds. Moving on to the other brand new card, we've got the Serene Psychic Girl. So if this card is normal or special, you get to banish one card from the hand, and if you do, special summon a level 4 or lower Psychic monster from the deck. Hello, direct synergy. And if you do, also you can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Psychic monsters, but you can't summon herself. But like I said, more times than not, you're going to go for Mind Procedure, and then you'll get the effects of the back of the Mind Procedure to get you access to the Fusion Spell or E-Tele or anything you might need to. You can target one face-up monster on the field, or target face-up monsters on the field, up to the number of monsters you control. Increase their levels by 1 until the end of this turn. So you can manipulate the levels to help you get into some higher level synchro monsters, which can be very, very useful as well. We are also on 3 Prototype Psychic Blaster. This card's actually really cool as well. And like I said, all of the new support for the Psychic strategy is pretty awesome. So you get to discard this card to special summon a level 4 or lower Psychic monster from the hand or banishment. If this card is in your graveyard, you pay 1,000 life points and banish one other Psychic monster from the grave to special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn, and again, it's just great extension while as well being a great starter for the deck. We are playing one of the Hushed Psychic Minster. So if you control a Psychic monster other than itself, you get to special summon this card from the hand in defense position. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. And you can also utilize this card, banish this card on one Psychic monster from the graveyard to then target a face-up monster on the field and banish it until the end phase. You can only use each effect once per turn, so it's going to be good for you going second because it lets you kind of trade cards with your opponent. But then on top of that, it's just a free extender that is a non-tuner, because not all of the Psychic monsters that are tuners can say, use me as a non-tuner. So then moving on to the Psychic spells, and then we'll come back into the other supporting elements. We are playing 1 Teleport Fusion, 1 Parallel Teleport. So both of these are searchable off the back of the mind, and that's kind of where it gets a really bit more synergy. So the Teleport Fusion is during the main phase, you get to fusion summon a Psychic Fusion monster from the extra deck by banishing Psychic monsters from your field and or grave as material. If a face-up Psychic monster or monsters you control that was specialed from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to banish this card from the graveyard to target one of those banished Psychics and special summon it. Now this is one of the cards you would sacrifice for the new P.U.N.K card if you do have access to it, but for now I do quite like this because it gets you access to your absolute Axon kicker, and you can get to the old Axon card that was been in like Drev, or was it DRVE? But I don't have access to that because it's quite an old card, so hopefully that'll be a reprint in like an upcoming like OTS pack or something. Then we've got Parallel Teleport. So you tribute a Psychic monster with a level, you special summon a level 7 or lower Psychic monster from the deck or extra deck. Then if the original level of the tributed monster is different from that of the special summon monster on the field, you lose life points equal to the difference times 1,000. You can't special summon the entire turn you activate this effect except Psychics, but the idea behind this one is, again, when you're burning away at your life points, you have cards in the extra deck that are going to either benefit from having such a big life point disparity in the stuff of the Psychic and Punisher, or you can have cards that will help you start to regain some life points should you need them. Then, of course, the classic emergency teleport, and you're going to want to max out on this because not only can it extend you into your psychics, and the only kind of psychic monster you wouldn't want to summon off of this that you can is your procedure, for the pure fact that you only really want to be summoning that off the back of a monster that would trigger its effect, but you have so many other targets I'm about to show you. So your other targets can be the Psychic Tracker, Wielder, or the Virtual World Hime Nyan Nyan. The idea behind all of these is if you need a non-tuner, you have access to it. If you need a tuner, you've got access to it. But if you control a level 3 monster other than itself, you get to special summon it from the hand. And again, if you control a level 3 monster other than itself, you get to special summon it from the hand. So you've got so much extension, you start working your way into like level 9 synchros, level 6 synchros if you wanted to, or in a very defensive manner if you wanted to. A card that I do advise looking into would be the number 75 Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. And if you are completely against putting any punks in the deck, another very important engine I would advise for you all would be the Teratop engine. And the pure fact for that one is not only does it get you 2 monsters on the field that can get you into a very old but powerful card in the form of the Psyframe Lord Lambda, which I'll explain once we get to the extra deck, but it can also get you into that Bamboozling Gossip Shadow to protect you from the Beerroot should you want to. The Nyan Nyan, again, just acts as like a double extender. So if a level 3 monster or monsters is normal or special to your field while this card is in the graveyard, except during the damage state, you get to special summon this card as a tuner, but you banish it when it leaves the field. Also, for the rest of this turn, you can only special summon level 3, rank 3, or higher monsters, which is absolutely fine because you're going to be summoning higher than that anyway. So you're going to be looking into going into like rank 3s at the most, but you're also going to be going into a lot of synchro monsters. If this card is banished, you get to target one of your banished cards, shuffle it into the deck. You can only use each effect once per turn, so again, that lets you recycle some of your psychic cards. Then for the Punk package, so kept at a minimum for this one, is free Xiaomin. You can make it a little bit tighter if you wanted to, but the idea is we're going to be playing free Foxy Tune. So being able to discard this card to then add you another Foxy to get you access into your Xiaomin can be very, very important because it lets you special summon it from the deck except to level 8 and get you access to that. But it can also get you access to your Deer Note should you need to because you've already hard opened up the Punk, the Xiaomin, sorry, and the Xiaomin can also come off the back of E-Telly. So you've got loads of different ways to kind of get to it. So Xiaomin into the Foxy Tune, ditch the Foxy Tune, gets you the Deer Note, or if you've already opened up the Xiaomin, you can get to the or hard open up the Foxy Tune, still get to the Deer Note. You've got loads of different ways to still get you there where you need to be, and then being able to bring back the Foxy Tune from the graveyard opens up the door for Synchro level 11s quite easily, and just these naturally have the ability for a Synchro level 8, which is really important. Then for the hand traps of choice, I've gone with 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Ghost Ogre. The reason you go with Ghost Ogre is because it's a psychic, so it can actually act as an extender off the back of E-Telly if you want it to. If you don't want it to, that's absolutely fine. You can take these out for the Fluoros, and then I would also advise you to cut down your Nibiru's from 3 to 2, or you'd play your 3 Fluoros and then you'd play 2 Perulias, depending on what you have access to. The last of the monster hand traps we're playing is 2 Delta and 1 Gamma. You can max out on the Delta if you want to, but for those of you unfamiliar with the card Psyframe Lord Lambda, what makes this so good is you get to activate the effects of Psyframe gear monsters in your hand even while you control a monster. Then if a face-up psychic monster you control is banished face-up while you control this monster, you get to activate the effect that during the end phase of the turn, you add a Psyframe card from the deck to the hand. So you can get direct access to a Gamma, you can get direct access to a Delta, because you are going to be able to banish very easily, and having a generic Link 2 like Lambda in the deck is really important. The only downside is the Brick of Driver. You want to keep it in the main deck until you get it out of the deck through the Gamma or the Delta, and keeping in mind that when you use the Gamma or the Delta effects, they do get banished. But again, you have the ability to recycle your psychic cards, so you can actually go again with the Gamma if you're able to get it back from the grave into the deck. The final card is 3 Infinite Impermanences, but again, kind of come down to it, adapt your hand trap lineup as you see fit, depending on what you have access to and the strategy you wish to go for. So that's it for the entire main deck. Now to show you the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I've gone with a pretty classic psychic lineup where at all possible. So we've got the 1 Absolute Axon Kicker. So this one requires a psychic Synchro monster plus a Synchro monster. It must be fusion summoned and it can't be destroyed by card effect. If this card is fusion summoned, you pay 2,000 life points to banish all face-up cards your opponent controls. If this card is in the graveyard except the turn it was sent there, you get to banish it and special summon a level 10 psychic fusion monster from the extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon. Now that is where the old Axon would come into play. The issue is I don't have access to it because it is old. Now let me see if I've still got access to it. Here it is. It is the Ultimate Axon Kicker. And it requires a Psychic Tuner Synchro, a Psychic type Synchro and a Psychic type monster. This monster can only be special summoned by fusion summon from the extra deck. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. During the battle between this attacking card and a defensive monster whose defense is lower than the attack of the monster, you inflict piercing battle damage. And when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you gain life points equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. So you can kind of see where it works and how you kind of utilize it. And as long as you treat it as a fusion summon, it still works. Yeah, so you kind of bypass that, which is why you play the other Axon Kicker. Then for the Synchro monsters, I've got the one Duration, the Thunder God. You should very easily be able to pick this up as an ultra rare, so I'd move fast if I were you. Psychic Impartial is your OTK enabler, and then your Cursed Thunder God is a way to keep burning your life points down. Like, even if you have 1 life point left, it just makes this guy even stronger for a 1-punch OTK. I've got the one Yugioh P.U.N.K Amazing Dragon. It's just one of the ones that you do have a lot of level 3 psychics, so being able to bounce some of your opponent's cards can be quite useful. But you can cut this one out completely, and this is where you'd put in the P.U.N.K XZ's monster if you do have access to it. We've then got 2 of the brand new Psychic Blaster MK11, I guess, or MK2. So it requires a Psychic Tuner and then 1 or more non-tuner Psychic monster. You get to target 1 banished monster to special summon it to your field. During the main phase, you get a quick effect to banish 1 monster from your graveyard, then target 1 other face-on monster on the field and banish it. Then gain life points equal to that banished monster's original attack. You can only use 1 Psychic Blaster effect per turn and only once that turn. I've then got one of the classic Overmind Archfiend. Again, this is a card that could be taken out for the P.U.N.K monster if you have access to it. But once per turn, you get to select 1 Psychic type monster in your graveyard, remove it from play, so banish 1 from the grave. And then when this card is sent to the graveyard and from the field to the graveyard, you get to special summon as many monsters as possible that are removed from play by this effect. So it's a nice way of being able to recurse some of your resource by being able to banish some more cards. But again, it's just a flex spot, and it's just a classic card that I found when I went through my binder. I was like, this is cool. It fits within the art type, and I like the artwork of the Archfiend within this deck. So it's something I thought I'd showcase for you. But as I mentioned, this is flexible for anything else you might want to choose. Got the one Virtual World QB Xianxian, the one Crossmind Archfiend. So 1 Psychic Tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. During the main phase, you get a quick effect to target 1 of your banished level 7 or lower psychics and special summon it. During the battle phase, there's a quick effect, you get to tribute 1 other monster. You gain life points equal to the original attack, and if you do, this card gains that much attack as well until the end of the turn. Only use each effect once per turn. P.U.N.K Jam Dragon Drive, Psyframe Lord Omega, Psyframe Lord Zeta, and then the other brand new card being the Silent Psychic Magician. So 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners, so obviously nice and generic, and this is the card you're going to be working your way into off of the back of the very basic combo of Procedure and, I bet it's like right at the bottom of the deck, your Silent Psychic Gale, because straight away that is your level 5s of what you need, and remember Procedure could be used as a non-tuner. So in doing so, if it is special summoned, you get to target level 4 or lower Psychic monster in your graveyard or banished and special summon it, and then you can increase its level by 1. Also, you can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Psychics. You can only use each effect once per turn, and if this card you control would be used as Synchro material, you can treat it as a non-tuner. So again, that's just kind of where you're going to get the benefits of being able to bring back something like your Psychic Gale. Psychic Gale can manipulate levels, so can your Silent Magician, and being able to use this as a non-tuner allows you to work into other Psychic monsters. And the last card, as previously mentioned, is the Psyframe Lord Lambda. Just gives you that access to play the Psyframe cards, which can be very, very good. Because if you do hard open up a Gamma and you're going second, Gamma is still very, very powerful. If your opponent tries to Perulio or even Molchumming you during the draw phase and you've got the Gamma, you have the protection from it. It's also very good against power plays, power spell cards as well. So if your opponent wanted to activate something like the Mitsurugi Ritual, you can actually just go cool Delta and get rid of it. And you have ways to directly search them out off the back of the Lambda, which is really, really important. And pretty much gives you direct access to them. So that's pretty much it for the entire profile. I hope this has given you an idea on your own build. As I mentioned, if you are stateside, you'd probably be looking at adding more of the P.U.N.Ks to this particular strategy. Only 1 or so, it wouldn't be anything too crazy. But the other is it does take the deck up that nice little level. We just don't have access to them right here, right now. But that is something you might want to be looking into. If you don't have any questions at all, by all means, please put in the comments down below. I am more than happy to answer them. But this is just the baseline. If you are interested in Psychics and the new support that they've got, I think you can start to move away from P.U.N.Ks a little bit once we get that. But even then, it's just such a great Psychic engine that facilitates the generic Synchro monsters you're going to want to try and get access to and helps you get that aggressive push should you need to. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Do like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.